Hey, how you doing, everybody? I'm Farrell, and today I'm going to talk to you about iPads at South Kent School. Yeah, this year we were fortunate enough to be given iPads to each student and faculty member, and people are always asking me, hey, how do you like it? How is it? You're like, you're so lucky to have iPads. I wish I had one. And yeah, we are lucky. We're very fortunate. But it has its pros and its cons. It can be very beneficial at times, studying, schoolwork, and all that. But sometimes you get a little distracted or whatnot, studying. Maybe you go off Facebook or something like that. But that's what I'm here today to talk to you guys about. The iPad and its effects on South Kent School. Slide. So, South Kent School, that picture of the beautiful campus itself, it was founded in 1923 by Samuel Bartlett and Richard Coiler. It was a project for them. They helped found Kent School right down the road. It was Kent School and then South Kent School for the boys. Kind of like South Kent School was more of the farming type, like we were more labor, blue collar, we had more fight in us. That's what makes us better, obviously. It's a small, like I said, blue collar all boys school. A lot of student athletes on campus. It's top in the country basketball, top in the country soccer, 5th year straight New England. Hockey, top New England this year. Next year we're going to USCHL Selects program. It's located in South Kent, Connecticut, and it's a fairly small school, roughly 180 students. Compared to other schools, that's very small. And the headmaster is Andy Vadney, and he had this vision of turning the school what he saw it as it should be, and he's done a fantastic job of doing that. If I could describe South Kent in one word, it would be brotherhood. It's what we are. We're brothers. We're all brothers. It's a tight-knit community where everyone's a family. Faculty members, down to the students, down to the faculty members' kids. Everyone, we're all family. It's just a really strong brotherhood. It's like no other. These kids are my second family here. The relationship we have between each other, I can guarantee you, is like no other school. It's really it's what this school is about. We're about being a community, and we really strive off of that. We'll go out somewhere, we'll go to a school trip, and we almost show it off how close we are, and everyone knows how close we are. We like to refer today's day and age here as the iPad era. The school's seen many different eras, but today, we're evolving into iPad. It's what we're about. It's in and out of the classroom, which everyone's got an iPad in hand at all times. But the changes the school has gone through is, a while back, school was founded in 1923, so it's gone through its fair share of changes and different types of eras. A lot of kids and teachers too went off to World War II during that time. This time lost a lot of students. School also didn't have roads and pathways, and it's definitely evolved from there. It's a beautiful campus now. And then the internet evolved into the iPad, and that's who we are today. It's took a turn. You can see from no roads and pathways on campus into everyone with the iPad in hand at all times, tuned in. And it's how we work today. This great technological revolution comes great technological responsibility. And when you give a bunch of kids iPads, they're going to want to have fun and games with it, but that's where responsibility takes place. You got to be responsible. But it gives us, iPads within this community gives us fantastic opportunity for creativity. Kids, you wouldn't believe the amount of creativity kids have these days, and the iPad gives us the tools and the amount of apps to do pretty much whatever the horizons let you do. But I also see a little bit of isolation on campus. Like kids will stay in their rooms on iPads, or like, while kids are just hanging out, there'll always be that one playing and hooked on a video game and just listening to music or watching some Netflix or something like that. So that's a con there. But yeah, it's definitely brought up creative side out in everyone. As I said, iPad gives you the chance, the opportunity to expand your creativeness. And literally lets you expand your horizons to any means possible. This really takes part in schoolwork. And like, say you got an idea for a project, you want to add a video or a picture, you could literally do whatever you want in each presentation possible. You just have to know your iPad. Like, say you're doing a project, you make a keynote, you're like, oh, I got this video, I want to add something so bad, and I got this picture that I saw, and it would go perfect. You could take maybe 35, 40 seconds tops if you know what you want to do, and you add that video into your keynote, and it works perfectly. And even at home, you can be creative with it. Say you're really missing your family, your friends from back home. Like, oh man, I just got to talk to them, I'm really missing them. Go on Skype, give you the opportunity, go on Skype, hey mom and dad, how you doing? I miss you guys, haven't seen you in a while. Like, hey bud, what's up? I really miss you, man. It's just creative. It really lets you do whatever you want. Like I said, with all great things comes great responsibility. And what the experts think on the iPads and technology in general is, actually, it can, believe it or not, cause depression. Sounds like a long shot, but it really does, because when you're on Facebook and you're on social media networks, you only see the highlights of what your friends are doing, like the highlights of their day, and you sitting there alone on a computer screen, emotionless, doing nothing, just blank staring at the computer screen, not too happy, not too sad, but you see how good other people are doing. They're out with their friends, they're out looking their best at a party with other, say, the best looking girl, puts it up there, it's a profile picture, oh man, I want that. And brings you down, it really does. And multitasking with technology can actually be very harmful. It alters your short-term memory loss, forgetfulness often, and it can be harmful to the brain in the long run. And the iPads, I feel like people are always multitasking, listening to music, checking email during class. It gives us a lot of information, but it gives us a lot of information all at once, and it can be harmful to the brain. And since 1960, technology has let us consume 3 times as much information that we usually have been before. And too much information also isn't good for the brain. It can hurt long-time memory in the long run. And say if these numbers keep continuing, that say another 60, 70 years from now, go up 3 times more. Say you get 50 texts a day, 50 emails a day, those numbers are going to be drastic. You're just information on information, you're going to start to forget things, be very forgetful, and impatient, and other social media networks let you be narcissistic, and you're just worrying about yourself all the time. How many friends, how many followers, how many emails or texts am I going to get a day? No one's talking to me, what's going on? And even though adults use the iPad too, young brains are more sustainable to change, and they're going to adapt more to the negatives. Like, this could be helpful because maybe they adapt to changes and it can become a way of life, and a good way of life, but can also be harmful. But like I said, brains become dependent on the iPads, and it can cause addiction. People become addicted to them, but use it responsibly, that won't have to happen. The era we live in today is, Father put it best, we live in a fear of missing out era. And it's just everyone needs to know what's going on at all times, and I feel that's the reason why everyone's checking email, Facebook, and everything. You just have to be updated on everything. You get that urge to just check that email right away while you're in class. Instead of waiting 10, 20 minutes, go back to your room, check your email, reply. Yeah, it's fine. But it's the era we live in today. It's revolutionary. It's the fear of missing out era. And iPads can also be very disruptive to learning. Like I said, responsibility. It's how you use the iPad. If you're not responsible, you're going to be disruptive. You're going to start playing games and whatnot during class. And it's not only going to hurt your grades, it's going to multitasking affect your brain. It's not good for you. What's the word around campus on the iPads? How do people feel about it? Well, I was wondering this too. That's why I took a survey, poll, whatever you want to call it. I took 10 different types of students, completely all different backgrounds, and 10 different types of teachers, boy, girl, all different types of colors, made it even. A majority feel the school uses the iPad for social networking and entertainment. This can be an issue if people aren't doing the right thing with the iPad. It's a problem. And also social networking and entertainment like games, harmful for the brain, can be addicting, also cause depression and loneliness. It isn't good for the community either. It's for a brotherhood, we don't want to lose that. 75% of the school think iPads are better study tool over paper, better learning, easier, more accessible, and productive than paper. More people feel it's helpful as a study tool. I said they prefer iPad over paper. It's easy, more accessible to books, online books. Highlight, you store everything in it. It's far more organized than a backpack, for my case at least. The student-teacher connectivity is fantastic, better than ever, because say everyone carries your iPad around, like I said, and fear of missing out error. You're missing something, or you want to know if you got to study for a test tomorrow that you got to retake or something like that. Email the teacher, he'll email you right away right back because he's got his iPad on him at all times. But one of the problems is, it's like I said, if you're missing out on it, people feel lost without it, and that can be a problem. It affects our personality and how we use it, and things that are going on around us. And addiction, again, we don't want to become addicted to these things. It's a big responsibility. Also, focus within the classroom. Just be responsible. It won't happen, but kids feel like they're playing more games than actually learning, and social media more than learning, which is a huge problem. What I've concluded from this is that the iPad has its pros and cons, and it can be very beneficial when we use it right, but if we're not using it right, it can be harmful to our grades, brain, and the community. It's eventually going to split us apart if we keep using it the wrong way. But varying on the person, that's my opinion. Varying on the person can be very useful, or it can also be a harmful instrument. Many people feel strongly disagree with it, but many people feel like it's the way to go, it's the way of the future, it's how South Kent is going to be, it's what we're about. It's too short to tell whether it's going to be helpful or not right now. We don't have enough research or information, and this is our first year using it. But only time will tell from now whether